When Dr. Thanusha Govender walked into XLink as CEO, she thought she was walking into a turnkey house. Little did she know that she would have to roll up her sleeves and undertake a full renovation. It led to a radical reset that included the execution of a market diversification strategy as Dr. Govender aimed to get a stagnant company up and running again. In this interview, we talked to XLink CEO Dr. Thanusha Govender about her career, her zest for corporate entrepreneurship, her pursuit for continuous improvement, and her passion for stewardship, for herself and those around her. My name's Heather Richardson, and this is A Moment With. You're known as an individual that loves a professional challenge. How was that mindset nurtured?
It was unconsciously molded and shaped when I was in grade 1. I entered the grade and I wanted to be a trailblazer, but unfortunately I was not. And so I went home like any little kid and I sought the help from my mum, and she relentlessly worked with me throughout the year, tirelessly through all hours of the day, to become the trailblazer in the grade. And that feeling of accomplishing a challenge, doing the unknown, was deeply rewarding for me, and it's a feeling that I bottled and I seeked out in diverse corporate experiences and all my experiences through life.
And there's a certain poem that sort of speaks to your attitude to your career. Tell me about that.
The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. The first time I heard the poem, I was 16 years old. It was love at first sight. I felt like he had written the poem personally for me. That feeling that I had bottled from grade 1, he made sense of it. For me, the road not taken was the challenge, the impossible, conquering the first. And it really got me to understand myself a lot better, what fuels me, my adrenaline rush. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled. And that has made all the difference in my life.
And you started life as a chemical engineer. What motivated that decision?
When I was in high school, I knew that I wanted to be a CEO one day, and I took inspiration from Jack Welch, an acclaimed corporate leader, but also a chemical engineer. And he indicated that chemical engineering was the best degree for business because of the way it made you think. And for me, that was a very important component part. And that, coupled with my intrinsic desire to take the road not taken, I chose to become a chemical engineer. And it really has shaped me into becoming an ambidextrous thinker, bold innovator, an analytical problem solver. The ability to run and transform businesses seamlessly has really been at the cornerstone of my success.
You joined XLink in 2022 after a long stint in banking. What was it that initially drew you to the company?
Firstly, it was the industry, telecommunications. It was the only industry in my diverse corporate and consulting experience that I had not had exposure to. And secondly, it was the ability to utilize my plethora of skills in a singular role, and it gave me the platform to deliver corporate value. And really for me, that was the most important thing about making the change from banking into being a CEO of a business. I think when you look at any particular role that you hold, you're really dealing with a functional area. When you are a CEO, it's end-to-end accountability, it's end-to-end, leveraging your skill to deliver value. And how quickly can you do that? And how quickly can you transform a business? I didn't know that I was going to be transforming a business, I have to admit that. But it did give me tremendous joy the last 2.5 years in the business.
When you started, you realized that things weren't as they initially seemed. At what point did you realize the extent of the challenges ahead of you?
After week 1, I knew that this was going to be a steep climb to transform the business into becoming a future-fit, sustainable business for generations to come. I do believe that every business is on a transformation journey, whether you are moving from an undefined business to a good business, from a good business to a great business, or a great business to great everlasting. I don't really believe that you can be complacent in the world of business today. The ever-evolving world of business requires us to constantly push the envelope.
XLink originally offered just one main product. How was that adapted and expanded?
It stemmed from the diversification of the business from a telco business into a payment technology business. We broadened our capability across the integration and experience layer of payments, capturing more value, building adjacency capability, generating new revenue, and offering the wide space of integrated payment orchestration solutions.
How did you identify the areas you could generate new revenue streams?
Being a strategist, I started with a data-led strategic analysis of the market, double-clicking on the revenue pools and profit pools within Africa. The data led us to the decisions that we've made. First, Africa is a boundless opportunity for us as a business. I think for many businesses on the continent, whether we look at GDP growth, whether we look at population growth, whether we look at the average age of the African population, whether we look at smartphone adoption, Africa is definitely our number one choice for expansion. We then did an analysis of our customer base, and we realized that incumbent banks are our number one customers and big customers. And when we looked at the bankable population across the continent, it was circa 50%. So definitely financial services was an opportunity for us to double click into. And then it led us to our choice around payments. When we look at payments, and we look at the rapidly evolving industry that payments is. When you look at consumers, they're now wanting and needing personalization. They're looking for a lifestyle ecosystem. They're looking for the fact that they don't want to move out from one ecosystem to another to complete a payment. Payments remains a great opportunity on the continent, and payments is considered to be one of the more resilient industries when you look at drastic economic changes. We then double-clicked and pinpointed our white space where we can capture more value and offer adjacency capabilities, generate new revenue, and that led us to integrated payment orchestration solutions. The more the market opened up, the more players came in, the more complexity it introduced into the market, and therefore the need for a company that brings simplicity and end-to-end solutions at the core.
So what does XLink now offer in this very ever-evolving industry?
We are an advisory-led business. We are an advisory-led payment orchestrator in the African payments landscape. We leverage deep market insights to design end-to-end payment solutions that cut across hardware, software as a service, connectivity platform solutions, and outsourcing, acquiring, and cash management solutions.
You've stated that winning hearts and minds is crucial for the success of the transformation of XLink. How have you gone about achieving that?
It happened at two very distinctive points in the journey. The first out of the starting blocks was winning the minds of our people, and that was really the intellectual connection with the journey. Deeply understanding the reset, why, organizational alignment to our true north, our strategy and our direction of travel. What came later was the winning of the heart. That only came when the fruits of our labor was more evident, and that infused the belief and enthusiasm into the journey. At XLink, we believe that the soft stuff is treated like the hard stuff, and that is crucial to our journey.
That's coupled with your desire to enact a cultural shift. What progress has been made on that front?
We knew that the transformation of our business into a corporate entrepreneurial business would require a cultural shift. We were very deliberate about that journey, and we had very distinctive steps within the journey. The first was to define our true north for decision making, which is our credo, and really symbolic of how we will deliver shared value to all our stakeholders. The second was to define our cultural archetype, which we call HOP, hungry for growth, obsessed with customer service, and precision about efficiency. And that was really how we were going to become this high-performing corporate entrepreneurial business. We co-created our values, and we call it BRICE as an acronym, and it really stands for being bold, respect, accountability, adaptability, integrity, and stewardship. For us, this is how all our people will show up equitably every day as an integrated, cohesive team. Our next component was the change journey, because with every culture journey comes the change journey. And with the change journey, we wanted to always reinforce the reset why. So people deeply understood why we're going on this journey, but also continually win the hearts and minds of our people. We then used an analogy of climbing Everest as being our transformation wrapper, as well as our organizational storytelling. It's much easier to have an analogy to tell your story through it. And then the last was reinforcing this cultural change by cultural artifacts that remind people of the shifts and the behaviors required along this journey. Remind them that we don't just treat the business performance as the hard stuff, but we treat the soft stuff as the hard stuff as well.
You've described yourself as a corporate grandmaster. What is that in practice, and how does it benefit XLink?
It is a notion that I actually borrowed from chess. It denotes an acquisition of a diverse plethora of skills and the ability to utilize those skills in different combinations to drive unparalleled corporate value and to weather complex corporate storms very well.
And how will XLink continue to move forward in the years ahead?
By investing in our own R&D, but simultaneously leveraging an open innovation ecosystem to continuously innovate, bring new features, new products to shape the world of payments and customers' payments experience to enable a better tomorrow. For us, what is really important is to deliver purpose-driven financial solutions that enable financial access across the continent that we are very passionate about. And for us, our cross-border solution that we've just recently launched enables us to have a lasting impact in society and leave a legacy.
So